cat is falling down and our player is staying still. Alright, welcome to this Mesen Games tutorial about making those full screen boss fights with some big moving elements. For this tutorial I have prepared this rat purple game with this cute little rat character over here. This is a project in NES Maker, and it uses the Metroidvania module. And all I have done is I have put some basic input scripts and some stage layout over here. There is plenty of tutorials on the internet if you want to make your own project. This is quite basic things to do at the start. Okay, so let's talk about this making these big boss screens. First of all, it is important to design what do you want to do and what kind of things you want to make with this big element. As you can see here are different kinds of background graphics. Some kind of spiky things over here and cats falling with an umbrella. The main trick behind these is to hide the corresponding palette to show only something, and then translate the camera to make it look like it's falling down. For example, if I put this palette on, you can see there are only these visible. Here's one enemy over here, and left cat and right cat. So by setting all these palettes to background color, I can hide all the other things on screen I don't want to show. So I'll just animate this falling down from here to the screen. Another thing to consider is that how big are you going to make? How big of these are you going to make? If you are, maybe I should show it in the emulator. Let's start. I check player over here and launch the emulator. As you can see here is the camera visible part here, and if I want to move this from down here, so I have to change the number from the cam y variable. So I put it here. By the way, there is a tutorial if you want to see your variables in this Mesen debugger. I put a link in the description. These are really helpful when you're trying to dig through your code. Okay, here's the cam y. So here's what I meant. If I put this, for example, 50, you can see it's falling down. But if your sprite is too long, it obviously shows here at the lower part of the screen too. So you don't want to make your sprites too big. I mean background tiles too big, because they would be shown at the bottom also. So in the actual game it would do something like this. Yeah. So I have to decrease it. This value decreases over time, and then if there is player, we have to check if this camera is at a certain location, and then player gets hit. Another thing to consider is the size of the player and all the sprites, because the nest can only show 8 sprites per scan line. So this considers of 4 sprites. It's the player character, and because the background moves constantly, you have to make all the platforms as sprites. So if player is over here, you can see these are just placeholders for the sprite graphics what we are going to make in the future, but you can see here that this consists of 2 sprites. It's 8 by 8 sprite, 1, 2, 3, 4, and my player consists of 4 sprites as well, so it's the maximum number of 8 sprites per screen. And another thing to consider is that you can only show 64 sprites at the same time, and here is my game character. It takes already 4 times 5 sprites, so 20 sprites are dedicated for the player. And here you can count the other sprite. It's this takes 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20, 24 if I got it right. So we have already quite a lot of sprites here when these are done. And also all the sprites eats the resources from the pickups or sprite HUD if you are going to make some kind of sprite HUD for your game. Okay, but how are we going to do this? We can try some little example going through the code. If we go to, for example, handle camera, handle camera over here, edit this. I use the Visual Studio Code for my coding. I found it an awesome tool, because you can actually search everything here, and it searches. If you open the folder of your project, you can search each and every variable. For example, I can search for CamX, and it shows all the scripts where CamX is. So it's really easy to find what you're looking for in Visual Studio Code. But well, let's go and try this one. So we want to decrease the cam variable each frame, so we just try to write it decrease cam y and save. So let's see what will happen if we test our game. You know, this because of the labels, the test takes a little bit additional times, because it goes through all the variables and makes another this game MLB file that contains all the variables. Alright, so now we are moving downwards, and all the graphics are moving down as well. Yeah, at some case maybe this would be a wanted thing to happen if you are making some kind of endless climber or something. There are a few bugs when the screen transits to some place over here. You can see the player jumps a little off. I don't know if this is a NES Maker bug or what. It hasn't been designed for scrolling the y-axis. So there got to be some place where you have to check if you want to make a endless climber or something. So you have to find the spot where the bug happens. Okay, but we don't actually want our player to move. We want only the background graphics to move. So we would like to keep our player at the same spot over here and only move the enemies, which are background tiles. So how are we going to do that? We have to go to our code, and maybe you can show it from here so you can find it too. You have to go to script settings and find the script that says handle sprites. It's always so hard, always so difficult to find scripts in here. I feel this is even more difficult when the screen is recording. I'm panicking to find the script over here. Where is it? Where it is? Do handle. Handle drawing sprites over here. In Metroidvania, it's do draw sprites platform base. So let's go over here, and then in your editor you search for SPC. This is the thing that automatically transforms the player to the camera coordinates, but this time we don't want it. So we can just comment all these SPC lines. There is no other SPCs in this script, so if you comment this set carry and SPC come variables out, so it should work. Of course, if your game is has another screen where you want to scroll normally, then you would have to put some logic here to check if the game is in special state or something, if it's a special screen. So do this don't do this comment then, but just make some kind of branch over this. But yeah, let's save this, and now if we go to our game, we can see if it did something. Okay, it's looking a lot better now. There's actually the cat is falling down, and our player is staying still. We can try to play around with these. I can show how this is going to work in the future. Here's another cat. So if I put some values in the palette, you can see it appears over here. So this is what we are going to do in our code later on. We are going to show and hide with the help of the palette changes. Screen is a bit empty. There are no platforms here. You can maybe remember we had those platforms in this screen, and these are background tiles, so we can't use them because they would fall also down with the player. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a new script over here, maybe in subroutines, add script name, let's make it boss screen, and define it ser boss screen, and leave it script empty for now. I usually make this so I take the blank script and place it over here. Then I go to edit, so it opens the blank script, and then I save it as the new script boss screen. And then I have to go back and find the script over here. There, this is boss screen. Take this off. Then what is a useful thing to do is to make transform this, move this script to another bank. So if we go to define scripts, we can see banks over here. There is one bank that's empty. We can choose it, make it for the script. So let's make label for it, and then I have to look how it's done in here. How do I include? Let's copy this. I didn't say. I don't like this editor so much, but it's easier to do maybe like this. Include SCR boss script. Alright, now it is in bank 1D. So maybe we could try that if it will work over here. And so we have to call it from somewhere. There's maybe main game loop would be. Usually I call the scripts from time, some kind of what's that called? My timer or something. I usually any kind of script that runs periodically every frame. It's okay for this. So we have to switch bank to 1D and then jump to our boss screen and return bank. Did I write it capitalized or not? Boss, yeah, it was capitalized. Boss screen. So now what it should be doing is it calls the script and should reset instantly when the script gets called. Let's try if that one works before going any further. Okay, can't open file. Bank 1D. I missed something. Banks 1D. Boss. Maybe there's too many S's over there. We have to check it. Check it. How did I spell it over here? Change. No, it should be. Let's just copy it. It was boss screen, not script. Okay. Yeah, it's not so good to use different kind of names, but it's okay for now. Now it should work. We'll see. And it has a non-label. Boss. And now it's boss script again. Sorry about this. There should be some kind of consistency with all these namings. You know, this is my first time making some kind of tutorials, and I really don't know. I can't speak English very well, and everything is really exciting. But as you see, our script gets called because the game resets as soon as it starts. Right. Alright, so now that we have our new script over here, we can try to draw some sprites on screen. First of all, we need some kind of loop, and the loop usually starts at 0, so that's a good point to start. This is minus thing is when we put minus loop, so it will loop to next minus thing it founds with the minus loop text previous. So this is an infinite loop now. Then we have to make the sprite. Let's don't do the loop at first. Comment this out. Let's just draw a sprite. So I usually check this draw sprite over here, so you can get all the macros from here and how they work. I usually copy this and put it over here like this. Draw sprite. Here is all the arguments you can put on this macro. So what we want to do is draw sprite, and x is something like this is hex 10, I think, hex 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 times 2, something like 128 maybe. Let's try that. I mean in decimal. Then we need the sprite. Maybe it is easier to just start the game so we can check it out. So we need to maybe pause this. It's still showing this. Okay. Here the sprite what we would like to draw. 0C. Okay. And the arguments, I just know it is palette number 1 should be. Alright, let's see if the sprite appears over there. Put player over here, and over here it is. But somehow our player is not. I forgot to return from subroutine, I think. Let's try it again. And here is our player, and here's the sprite, and it's not moving, and because there is collision on screen at the same spot, we can step on it. Here is the collision. I have made it jump through collision, so you can jump through it and reach the platform more easily. Alright, so what we have to do is make the same for every platform that is in our level. And you could write just repeating code with this draw sprite, but what this macro actually does, it writes the same code as it is in here. Draw sprite with this. It replaces the macro draw sprite with your arguments with this code. So it's not very efficient to just write draw sprites million of times. You will just fill your game quite easily, quite fast if you repeat this. So that's why we are using the loop. So let's uncomment these things. Yeah, here it is over here, and then we need X and Y and graphic position for our sprite. So at first y is 0, so let's make some kind of, I don't know what's called, table or database or something. Let's name it platform pos and db, and let's make this x value, it's over here, it's 10, and it's pretty awkward that the x value is in hex and the y value is in decimal, but anyways, that was right enough. And then we need the graphics sprite we would like to draw. So here is the first values for the first sprite, and then we have to read it from the table, and it goes like this. We load 8 with platform pos dot comma y, and this is the 0 at first, it's 0, and then store it in a temp variable like temp x. It's quite describing. Then we have to increase the y value so it reads the next one from the table. Then let's copy that, reload it again, and store it in temp y. And the third one was this graphics value, so we load it again and store it in temp a. So, and increase the y. So now we have every value in some kind of variable, so we can use this draw sprite again. We don't need that anymore. This was x, so we place temp x over here, and this was y, so we put temp y over here, and this is temp a. Be careful with the capitalizing the a variables. ABC temp variables have big capital letters, but these temp x to temp y don't. And then we have drawn it. Then we have to somehow exit the loop. We just compare y to number 3, and then we have to branch this branch is if the value is 3, so it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 3, so we have to branch somewhere, but if it's not, we are going back to loop and we are checking another sprite. So that's this is how we don't have to write the draw sprite macro more than once, so it don't eat so much space. And then I think that should be it. We should see the same sprite again in the same exact spot as before, but now it's inside a loop. Yes, there it is. Well, then we need to add some more sprites. So I know that the next sprite is in 8 pixels from the first sprite, and it's the same y location, and the sprite should be 0D. We didn't see that before, hopefully it shows up. And then we have to compare this to 6, so it goes through 2 loops. And then let's go to check if it's working. No. What is happening here?
A few moments later. 6.5 hours later. 1 eternity later.
Oh, silly mistake. There's no jump. It actually thought that it was another label over there. The first thing it went through, but the other thing other time around it just didn't. It wasn't looped. So now here we can see. Here we are. There are two sprites. So we have just to do it the same thing with each and every sprite we have, like this. It's a quite frustrating process because there's no shortcut for this. There's no tool in NES Maker that makes these kind of tables for you, so you've got to write them by hand. But once you get the hang of it, you can do it quite easily. Alright, now there should be, and I have to change this to 12. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12th time it jumps over. I can take at least this. We can keep this as a reference. And now we should have the whole first leftmost platform over here. No, at line 40. This is always so. Okay. This is a hex number. It should. I should have put all these numbers in hex at the first place. I think this would be the perfect time to end the first part of this tutorial, and before the next tutorial I will place all the missing platforms, and we have this game up and running maybe a little bit better. Let's see. And why? I suggest you go and get your labels, the Mesen labels on the debugger. It really makes it more helpful to go through these things. Okay, so now it's working as it should. These were the background ties, and this is the sprite that's not moving at the same time. Yes. All right. If you like this tutorial, give me a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to my channel, so you will be the first ones to know when the next part for this tutorial will come up. In the next part, I think we will try to make things appear on the screen, those umbrella cats, and play with some kind of palette tricks to fade them in and out, so it's not just like poofing there like this. So it's a nice smooth transition, but that will be the thing next time. Okay, everybody, I wish you had fun and have fun making your own NES games too.